And we ought to give the more earnest heed to these things which we heard, lest any time we let them slip. For if the words spoken by angels, the prophets, were steadfast,
Amen.
were they? We could spend a week on this.
Praise God.
Was it steadfast when Moses spoke?
Amen.
It sure was.
Amen.
How about Elijah sitting up on top of the mountain?
Hallelujah.
The Lord told him, get up there, Elijah. I'll stay there with you. Want some fellowship?
Amen.
God likes to fellowship with His people. But we won't stand still long enough for Him to fellowship with us. We're so busy skipping about from place to place and so much. Sit still, Elijah. He wanted 3 years and 6 months of fellowship. We can't give Him 3 minutes hardly. 3 years and 6 months of constant fellowship. Oh, I love that. So don't worry about the cooking. We'll have that already fixed up. The crows is going to feed you. And everything's going to be all right. I just want some fellowship. This old prophet Elisha sitting up there on top of the mountain while he was fellowshipping with God, while the captain said, I believe I'll go up and get him. Now don't you never try to break that fellowship.
Amen.
So the captain come up with this great army of man at 50 and he said, I come to take you, Elijah. And Elisha stood up, watch out. Here's the prophet of the Lord. He said, if I be a servant of the Lord, let fire come from heaven and devour you, and down come the fire. Captain said, oh, you know what? The king brother said that was probably a thunderbolt. Just some lightning is passing over and it struck him. I said another 50. Elijah stood up. One of the angels, his word, steadfast. It'd be a just recompense for everything that was done wrong. He said, if I be a servant of the Lord, let fire come. And the second 50 burned.
Amen.
All right. Every recompense. For if the words spoken by angels were steadfast, and every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense. Now, here's the great thing, the next verse. How shall we escape? How shall we escape? If Elijah's voice brought destruction because he was an angel of the Lord, how will we escape when the voice of Christ speaking through? Or how can we fail when you're prayed for? If it's the voice of Christ.
Amen.
If Christ ordained His church to pray for the sick, and the church does what He says for them to do, then how can it ever fail? It can't. You can fail, but it can't fail. And as long as you keep it, it'll take you through. If you fail by yourself. You just get away from the Word. But as long as you stay with the Word, it can't fail. For the word of the prophets did so and so. How much more will the word of Christ be? How shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation, which is at the first began to be spoken unto us by the Lord, and was confirmed unto us by them that heard Him? Think of it. Spoken by the Lord. How many times could we go back? Where could we stop right here for an hour? When Jesus came, He's the same yesterday and forever. Now remember, it first began to be spoken by Jesus Himself, and then was confirmed by the ones that heard Him. Now, listen at Him. When He came to the earth, He didn't claim to be a healer. He said, it's not me that doeth the works, it's my Father that dwelleth in me. Amen. He doeth the works. The Son can do nothing in Himself but what He sees the Father doing. St. John 5:19. Watch when Philip came to Him. Nathanael, after Philip's conversion, he went over and got Nathanael. Said, come see who we found, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. And he said, could there be any good thing come from Nazareth? Said, come see. That's the way to be convinced. Prove it. Come and see. Oh, that's the best I ever heard. Come and find out for yourself. Don't stand out and criticize on the sideline, but prove all things and hold fast to that what's good.
Amen.
Come and see.